Last time we simulated singles matches in SmackDown games, and we came to the conclusion that Here Comes the Pain really deserves all the praise that it gets. Fantastic match, easily the best one out of all 5 games, but will we see an even better match in SmackDown vs. Raw games? We'll find out. I have to mention that SVR games added a new feature where we can mess around with AI settings, and while this is great, we will not touch any of this. Everyone has their own preferences, so let's leave it all by default and see what the base game has to offer. Now for this episode we're gonna choose Randy Orton and we're gonna choose Shawn Michaels. I believe they have a pretty close overall rating throughout all the SVR games, so let's begin. I don't know what went wrong here, but the difference between Here Comes the Pain match and this match is huge. Remember when in Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain, wrestlers exchange punches and kicks all the time, reversal after reversal, remember that? Well, we got none of that here. It's either Shawn is dominating for 40 seconds straight, or it's Randy dominating for more than 1 minute it seems. And when it's Randy, all he does is he tries to throw Shawn out of the ring for some reason, and that takes 50% of what he does. However, 50% of what Shawn does is he tries to damage Randy's knees, and since I'm pretty sure Shawn has figure 4 leg lock in his arsenal, it's gonna come in handy later into the match, but it never actually does come in handy because Randy also targets Shawn Michaels' head in this match to hit his lovely RKO, and when he does it, he doesn't go for the pin. Instead, he locks HBK in a sleeper hold, then he lets him go, only to lock Shawn Michaels in a sleeper hold once again. Why? Why would you not go for the pin, Randy? Anyway, the ending is terrible, but it's not like it ruined the match, because the match was not good at all. I will mention though that Randy removed 2 turnbuckle pads, which we haven't seen yet from AI. The weird thing is that sometimes Shawn would sell the absolute pain that he suffers, and sometimes he just wouldn't sell at all. Also, this is the first time someone would be thrown into the ring steps, which was nice to see, but those are the only positives I can think of. I love the limb work, but then the ending ruined it with 2 unnecessary submissions after a finisher. Not a good match. Let's see what the next game has to offer. Let's start with some good news. Back and forth fighting is back, baby. Some of the sequences are really fun to watch. At the start of the match, there are 4 different scenarios the match can go. Crowd can start a chant during the match. Commentators are back and improved. Onto the bad news. This match went almost for 15 minutes long. And no, it wasn't filled with drama. It was good, but it was 10 minutes too long. This match ended after a knee breaker, and Randy didn't even target Shawn's knees. Every now and then, wrestlers would go out of the ring to refill their stamina bars. Now, this is where it gets controversial. First example is when Randy leaves the ring during an ongoing battle with his opponent. It looks bad, it ruins the pace of the match. You can see something like this happen in real life, maybe at the beginning of the match, but not in the ending stages of the match. Second example is when Randy just did a finisher to his opponent, lights go out. Actually no, that's an emulator glitch. I'll try to fix that next time. So anyway, Randy just did a finisher to his opponent. His opponent reversed the pin and Randy immediately leaves the ring to rest because he just did his best, and Shawn is still taunting at the ring after a finisher. That is awesome. What I'm saying is, I wish that CPU would refill stamina after some big moves while the opponent is down, so it would look more natural. Because if a wrestler wants to refill his stamina bar and he runs away from you as far as he can, that is something that would happen if you were playing with a friend. It's almost the same as running away from the guy that just gained a finisher. If we are not simulating a match and we're actually playing the match, I guess it would make things more challenging, but when simulating match, it looks so out of place. That's why I said it's controversial. I get why they did it, I just wish they would think all these things through. As for the match, it was a mid-match. It was too long, the finish definitely made it even worse. At least no one used a weapon and got DQ'd, because that is what this game's CPU is famous for. There are some great new additions in this game which I love, and then there's this test of strain animation 6 minutes into the match. And I'm also sad because this is the first game where you can finally play a title match without any shenanigans. So in the end I'm a little conflicted about this one, but I think it was average. You know, in previous games I always picked Randy's fighting style to be dirty, but I haven't seen any display of that in his matches. And this is the first game where Randy went all in. Eye rake, low blow, choking, Randy tried it all and it looked great and organic. Randy and Shawn are exchanging a lot of reversals. We had some nice looking sequences. I would even say sometimes they reverse a little too much. In the result, nobody can hit a move, but I'll take that over CPU behavior from previous games. Now I know I picked the highest difficulty and there's a chance that the opponent will kick out after only one finisher, but can you at least try to pin him? Maybe you damaged his head enough so only one finisher can actually end this match. I mean, we learned from previous games that matches can end after pretty much any move, so can you at least try to tease us with 2 or 1 pinfall attempts during the match? There's hope that it can be fixed in the game's AI settings, so I won't talk about it too much. Other than that, I don't have any complaints. It was short and sweet, everyone got to shine, we saw a bunch of different moves, finisher exchanges. I loved it. If they will keep building on this game's match style, we can finally reach Here Comes the Pain level of match, which I think is the best one we had so far. Honestly, this match didn't even reach the level of the last game's match. I know that random factor is always present. For some games the stars will align and we're gonna see some really fun match, and for other games these two opponents just won't work. That is why we're not gonna end this series on singles matches, and we're gonna test different match types so we can find out which game can do it all. Now on to the match. It started really hot, best start of the match we had so far, but then became noticeable how one feature can break everything that was built before. This whole carry system makes this match super boring. AI loves to use it, and most of the time the opponent fights back and we see no moves at all. The only highlight from this match is when Randy threw Shawn out of the ring and jumped on him with an elbow drop, which is not something that Randy would do, but nonetheless, dirty moves from Randy are still there. It's cool, but apart from this carry system, we haven't seen anything new. Shawn tried to hit pile driver on Randy a few times, but failed every time. This was a match where almost nothing happened. It was truly terrible, and at least I'm glad that it ended after a proper finisher. Let's move on, this match isn't worth talking about it anyway. I take my word back. This is the best start of the match we had so far. Very early in the match, Randy starts dominating, Shawn fights back, beautiful Irish shoot reversal into the scoop slam into the pin. Ref, come on, count! You know how rare the spin attempts are. Here are some other cool moments. Atomic drop from Shawn right into the kick to the knee. Randy lifts up Shawn for a suplex and Shawn reverses it and does it to Randy instead. Also this eye rake combo into the knee to the gut. Shawn taking high risk with a moonsault outside of the ring. I want to tell so many moves, but it's gonna take too much time, so you better just watch what is happening on the screen. Maybe just that case where this game got lucky, because you know, before you even start the match, you have some preconceptions about each game. I was expecting SVR 06 to have a great match, and that match was awful. SVR 09, I didn't expect anything from it, and it really impressed me. At the end of the match, oh my god, this is so cool. So Randy does his second punt kick, Shawn starts to bleed. He crushes Shawn's limbs one by one, goes for a third punt kick, and then Shawn Michaels turns into some creepy horror movie jump scare, goes for a desperate pin attempt. 1, 2, no, so close. Shawn is beat up so badly at this point, he gives all that he has left, but it's not enough to keep Randy down. Shawn goes for another desperate pin attempt. 1, 2, no. Shawn keeps trying, but Randy is just too strong. Randy goes for the fourth punt kick, and he pins Shawn using the middle rope. This is also where my game crashed, so we won't see Randy celebrating, but nonetheless, Randy won the match. This match was better than Here Comes the Pain match. This is the best match we had so far, and I didn't expect it to happen in this specific game, but there you go. So many cool moments, moves, combinations, spots, everything works so well together. And as far as singles matches, I don't think any game can top it. I don't really have much to say about this one. It was okay, but nothing interesting happened. The only thing that caught my attention was how red HBK's back turned out by the end of the match. That looked great. It felt like the first 5 minutes of the Iron Man match. Both Randy and Shawn went for the basic moves with some submission here and there. At this point, I'm not even surprised anymore. It feels like AI logic changes every game because there's no other way to explain it. How come we had so many cool moments in the last year's game and it's all gone this time around? We saw no finishers here. Shawn won the match after an elbow drop. It didn't feel like a Randy vs Shawn match, it felt like some match from Superstars. Anyway, let's check out the last SVR game. Wow, the CPU matches are so boring at this point. I think one of the main reasons it feels that way is because of the match pace. Wrestlers just come closer to each other and wait an extra seconds or two before hitting a move or a strike. Same goes to the moments like this where the opponent is stunned and the CPU is just standing there and absorbing. Also, strikes feel so weak and they're so common in SVR 10 and 11 that they are ruining the match. And when Randy and Shawn hit each other at the same time, it looks so stupid. This match is a little better than the last one, but it doesn't even compare to SVR 07. I think many cool mechanics from previous games were removed or changed, and it really shows. In the end, Randy won with a scoop slam, whatever man. Maybe this game will shine in the tag team match type. But next time we're gonna look at the last 3 THQ games, and I hope they're gonna fix some of this stuff and bring us some exciting matches, because even SVR 09 had shown us that it is possible.